Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland, off here to a 1v1 own Crossroads Winter in the north. It is learn to play here, fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, the elite 3rd Guards Mechanized Corps here with Guard Motor, Airborne troops, and Lend-Lease tactics with Molotov mine and infinite bullets in the south. It is Jibber. Fighting for the Oberkommand West Germany, Deutschland, the Hammengöring Fallschirmpanzer Division, or Panzer Corps in this case. With Grand Offensive featuring the Panzerfusilier, Smug Bombs, Sturmgewehr 44, the Panzer Commander, and the Tiger Tank. Infantry, Panzer, and Melker Bulletins versus, again, the aforementioned bulletins there. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters, these champions and heroes for keeping the business. Without their support, the Propagandacast would definitely not be possible. So consider joining the ranks, support the Propagandacast by pledging there or donating via PayPal. Links in the video description. Otherwise, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button, keep the activity going, keep the YouTube videos from going out to as many people, make sure they go out to as many people as possible. So, Sturm pinning east was there. Jibber going aggressive here versus Learn took place, going for a triple contra start here. We got the Kuhwagen and also seeing territory there for the German army. So a bit of here and there. We'll have to see how quickly Jibber commits to the Panzerfusilier. Some players go for them right away. Others tend to be, maybe they'll go for one Panzerfusilier squad and not much more. And again, some will go after 2 Volkskondies. We got Carp on also being secured, so definitely some aggressive fuel play here from both sides. So Jibber is not really getting any of the fuel points as of yet, but he's at least keeping the fuel points somewhat of his opponent's hands as well. It's currently some fuel point here, victory point there. Folks is moving about there for Jibber. Samex on the car front, very good. Kuban Limnignisa with its machine gun there in the back here. Taking into those Russian infantrymen there. We got the folks there dealing with their attacking conquerors there, at least holding up against them. Engineers down to 3 men, low on health. Sturm Puna continuing to seize the point here and laying down mines. Jibber's not concerned too heavily about the fuel point for now. Western fuel secured. But there you go, Jibber launching in contact with the Volkskondies, catching the counter there by the Western fuel point, instead advancing here, making good use of the terrain to get close. Excellent. In the centre here, the conscripts and Volkskondies continue to clash out. On the eastern point here, Kuhwagen has funny advance there for Deutschland. Can't quite tell if that's an MG34 or a MG1315. They're 15. And just got skirmishing there. Follows the conscripts. Sturm Peony moving up. Panzer escort there for Jibber and the German army. The Hammengöring Fallschirmpanzer Corps did have a full battalion of Panzerfusilier at the core level there. Sturm from the conscripts. They're actually mounted in armoured half-tracks as well, which is a bit interesting there. Follows there's the conscripts there. Moving up in the east, we've got the Sturm Pioneer. There's the conscript. Interestingly pulling in the background to get closer here, since that would of course be the better range for the Sturm Pioneer. Wonder if there's some logic to that here by Jibber or just a reflex. Still with the Kuhwagen then, the Sturm Pioneer are getting learn to place troops at a bit of a hard time. The also got Soviet doctrine chosen. It is, well, airborne troops with airdrop weapons, pair-drop heavy machine guns, the airborne rally points, which no one really uses, Guards airborne troops, and the Sturmovik rocket run. Medics up there. In the west here, the Punch will clash with the Contra, the Karnat TKs versus the Mosin guns, bolt action rifle versus bolt action. Got the fuel point there. In the centre, a bit of skirmishing as well between Jibber and Learn to Play. We got 4 conscripts there, obviously going to upgrade them there with the airdrop weapon, equipping them with the SVT-40 semi-automatic rifle. Punching back there, going for the western cut-off point there. Another Panzer escort there for Jibber. So he will also soon be at a fair amount of infantry versus a Learn to Play. More troops running on the calf point. Going for the calf point there. Good sneaky play there by Learn to Play against Jibber. Cuts off the fuel point. Thumbs up. Truck on the way for Jibber. Could be mechanized, could be Belgrave headquarters. That's it. Jibber has been much more heavily focused on mechanized regiments as of late. So mechanized seems very likely here from Jibber. Consuming force against the Volkskondies here. Heading for the eastern fuel point. And there we go. Schwerer very much slipper out there. So we'll have to see what Jibber commits to there. We got a 100 off there. Close to getting a wipe there on Learn to Play's console. 2 squads obviously lost would be huge and could be a possibly instant GG, but not quite happening. And these Kuhwagen moving up. He backed up with the Sturm Pioneer. 6 kills in that Kuhwagen already. Look at this, R2V got 6 kills. You're keeping count? Yeah, who doesn't? Normal people. Oh. Sturmpeter and pushing on the teams. Got minesweepers up there just in case. Obviously puts them away when he's actually do the fighting there. Engineers quick to retreat. Kuwagner to assist. Secure on the western fuel point. He's trying to keep the eastern one out of Learn to Play's hands. We got some barbed wire there. Very good. Bit to go before he can begin dropping in the weapons there. Meanwhile, on the west side, Dio pushes forward there through Deutschland, and we do get the mechanized regiment here. Interesting to combine Panzerfleet with the mechanized regiment, and typically you want the battle of headquarters and get the medics so you can more easily set munitions here for the recon package rather than just spend munitions on the medical supplies. But looks like Jibber is more focused on getting the looks out there, I guess. Comes there, push back here. No tech yet for Learn to Play. He will definitely need a field gun there because he won't be able to stop either Lux or the Puma with just a heavy machine gun. He does call a heavy machine gun teamer, which of course will be great versus Jibber's infantry, but crucially will fall a bit short versus anything out of the mechanized regiment. So there you go, mechanized regiment for Jibber, and he does commit immediately here to Lux here, the Panzer II, Ausführung L. Comes to the pushback with the Volksgun using the Panzerfusilier here for Jibber. Still moving forward step with the infantry, securing the car upon there with the Panzerfusilier. So how will Learn to Play respond to this? I mean, he's probably not expecting, look, since by and large, Oberkommando's metagame is still heavily focused on the battle headquarters and the flak half-track, but there has nonetheless been a notable increase in Oberkommando-based players as of late, and not just yet, but actually going for the mechanized regiment and the looks. So, but if Learn to Play, of course, isn't expecting that, he isn't expecting it. But nonetheless, it is happening somewhat. And if certainly well-handled looks can be quite nasty. So we'll see that happens next year. But again, he's going to need a field gun. And crucially, the engineers are down there hitting mines, not building up the support company. So the looks is going to hurt Learn to Play here quite a bit. You can also, of course, drop in weapons besides heavy machine, but so far hasn't dropped in a single SVT-40. That said, he will probably need the munitions for the anti-tank grenades now, as we've got the looks out here for Jibber and the German army. Panzer II. Comes in quarter with looks. Immediately popping apart there, Petrov. Yuri the avenges him with an anti-tank grenade, damaging the engine here of the looks, leaving its engine slightly ablaze here. In the center, got Panzer with the Consul there. Disco joining in as well. The Panzer is falling back. Got the car upon there. Looks falling its arse back. And these two have got the news falling back. Consul's falling back. You need to get that field gun up faster or tag up fast for either the Nation 6 or the T7 to counter the looks, of course. If he then brings in a Puma, that's going to be tough. Worth noting here, Jib immediately commits to the repair Pioneers. That way, you can keep the Pioneers focused on, well, front on repairs, but also on fighting the enemy. Plus, long-term, just having the repair Pioneers is a great idea, since again, it just minimizes the amount of attention you have to, pay to it. It's one of the advantages of these kind of small things. They just frees up the mind for other things, like controlling troops on the front line and focusing on murdering the enemy. Support company here, there for Learn to Play. Again, we'll have to go to the field gun, or he will move straight here for the tank command. He could have done that soon, actually. Definitely made a miss there by Learn to Play. You could technically actually, I have a T-City up by now, so definitely the other side here with the solo playing one. I imagine Jibber is more than fun to exploit, but at the same time, he's also clearly not rushing in too eagerly either, because he is concerned, he could run into something like a field gun, and we do get that here for Learn to Play. No immediate tank rush. Not that I blame him. Again, looks there can be quite nasty. Plus, in this case, Jibber's going for the Pumas, in which case having field guns will be the priority, since the T-10 of course will be shut down with the Puma. Popping the armor pigeon rounds here on the Disca. Constantly with the engineers, trying to let that grenades off as well. Then he should shoot the machine gun. He's trying to break the building barway, and there we go. Damage engine. Yuri sent flying off there like a hockey puck. Which is how you wanted to go anyways. Punch pushing forward with the G33s, tearing into the engineers here of Learn to Play. The conscript there out in the open will also fall prey here to the Panzerfusilier, and they will have to retreat as well there, as their men are being absolutely brutally executed in the cold snow of the Eastern Front. And these conscripts coming up there. Dishka there, half A one. Field gun is ready. This is 3 division field gun, colloquially known as the Ratschbum by the Germans because of the sound it made. So tank crew is quite likely though, because the apparently is fairly easy to handle. Skirmish in the west, cuff one hit, definitely disrupted there for the third player. Back here for Jibber, we got the Puma out, looks there being repaired. 4 kills, close to veterans who won already. And Jibber there going for the Battlefield Headquarters. At this point, I feel like the time is going to be for a, for a Battlefield Headquarters. Since he doesn't have the resource of the Schwerpunkt Headquarters, but he does want the medics there. So, there's definitely some room here for Learn to play to then bounce back against Jibber, though again, looks Puma can be a fairly tough thing to break. Depending how, expertly it's handled. We got Conflict the Falcon is there, building collapses. Pushing westwards to the western fuel point there. Definitely one of those fuel points back here soon because Jibber's getting a lot of fuel here. Could be, in fact, Jibber's not planning for the Battlefield Headquarters. Actually, here's the Schwerpunkt Headquarters. He's just relying on the fact he's got fuel dominance to then push for it. No, it is the Battlefield Headquarters. Sorry about the hiccups. Learn to play, though, definitely needs to start taking up soon here. Fulton's been pushed back. Looks unleashing a deadly barrage into the country. They're cutting them apart here like sacks of rotten melons. Which is a really weird thing there. But anyways, Consport there taking heavy damage, pushed back, got the western car pump, but there's an MG-34 carrying the car pump there, ready to stall any socialist advance. Back here at base for Learn to Play, nothing further happening. Another field gun here for Learn to Play, plus more weapon drops. Car punch is there with the MG-34, reclaiming it for Deutschland. Puma holding up P, Kubag moving back, looks there as well. Field gun turning around. Fun fact, the Germans captured a lot of CIS guns as well and would actually convert a lot of them to using German ammunition. In fact, a bunch of those would then be used for the Marder 2 series, where they actually mounted them on the Marders. Pulse punch out in the new see contributing as well there. Big push here by Jibber, and Learn to Play is completely blindsided by it as Jibber push ahead here for Deutschland. Fire lighting up the landscape there. Disco turning around to deal with that. Should be able to deal here somewhat with Jibber's attack. Looks they're moving in. East side there, point secured. Then use the training to with the field gun, or just get stuck right in front of it. There we go, direct hit punches straight through the looks with ease. There's a prize there, comes with the punch was here. There technically was a Panzer II variant they made that actually had like 80mm of frontal armor. But that one did not really see a ton of usage. There was also another Panzer II variant with a 50mm gun and an open top turret, though again, did not see a ton of usage either. They tried a lot of things to like make some use of the Panzer II chassis. And looks was, I would say, one of those last few things. But in the end it was a bit limited compared to, for example, what they did with the Panzer 38T chassis.
Supply sector under attack.
Grab the eastern point here. Puma bombarding. Carfin secured here. We got 463 versus 343. Still an attack here for Learn to Play versus Jibber. I mean, he's got plenty of fuel too, so it's not like he's got no fuel to take up with at all. Quite the opposite. Like at this point, I feel like Learn to Play's priority should just be to rush for some tanks and just try and overwhelm Jibber with that, or some tank destroyers at the very least. But you definitely shouldn't be like floating 250 fuel in this situation here. Definitely feel like that's a bit nervous out there, but Learn to Play ground in the centre there. Eastern side we got coming up, they're backed up by double field guns in case Jibber decides to intervene, but he may of course decide to move his vehicles and armour elsewhere. Almost got the Kuban there, but technically it also gives away to Jibber where the double field guns are, so he may also just be like to move everything westwards where they aren't.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Punch the contract up close here. 9 kills, slowly approaching that T2 down the looks. Scam's got the Sturmpioneer crawling up here on the conscripts. Learn to Play flooding quite a bit of resources, but again, crucially, is not taking up here versus Jibber. is very crucially not taking up. At this rate, Jibber means going to just take ahead here of Learn to Play, despite Learn to Play at this point having ample resources compared to Jibber. There we go. Finally got the tension command going up, which one's going to be the mechanized armor company. Counter there, push back. Finally around the center, going here around here. Looks to the field crew there, exterminating it. The gun is dropping dead. Slaughtered here by the looks. And these we got counter the Panzer Fleet up close though. Might be a win for the Conscripts, but to be a close in, of course, requires the other unit nearby does not intervene. We finally got take there on the way for Jibber, plus like getting effort. Obviously, starting to concern himself about possible enemy armor from his opponent. And there you go. Conscripts beat the Panzer Fleet up close due to having more veteranry there. And there you go. We get a wipe on Jibber. That's great. They've learned to play. Finally, a small win, but he still needs to further take up. He needs those tanks now before Jibber gets out his own tanks. And the center point being secured there. We're halfway done. So, no further tech here from Learn to Play as of yet, or any say light vehicles. That medley teasing at this point would be fairly silly at the 16-minute mark. Mission 6, there could be something you could consider, but also you should. Oh, he is taking up. He is taking up. Good, good. I was definitely a bit concerned that he wasn't taking up further. Got another crate here of SVD-40 semi-automatic rifles. Reinforcing healing here. Got the Fultons in the Panzer setting out there. Puma looks moving about. Kuhwagen there, close to veterinary fleet. Field gun shoots, whiffs. Mechanized armor company almost done for him. Close, but no cigar. Close, but no cigar. That's a bit wrong. But anyways. Can be churning out those T-34s and 6s. Of course, he might be tempted to go for the issue 5 instead, which honestly would be a half bad idea either. Schwer punter quarters there, almost done for Jibber already. So, Learn to Play, despite technically having a resource advantage in some ways, or at least having more fuel to take up with, compared to Jibber, just ultimately wasn't able to leverage it particularly fast. So, this is great for Jibber. Bit of bombardment here from the field gun. Ooh, almost got right there and Jibber's machine gun. There we go. Does go for the T-34 from 6. On the west car pond, they're being hit. We got troops being bled out there by the Soviets as well here in the center. Followed with the conscripts. Filming in there. Needs to get that dish coming in as well here versus Jibber. The faster the better. Steady advance against Jibber. He was definitely trying to slow down here. Learn to place advance. It looks frantically tearing into the Russian infantry here. As in the center of the squad, there's being bled out. But still, Learn to Place assault there's being beaten back, partly due to a lack of cohesion and more momentum behind it. T-34 though is almost ready and could actually soon go for another one. Jibber meanwhile is not too far away from a Panther 4 model of his own. West side they ground back the carve point once more. Puma moving in, shoots and lands a kill there. T-34 though is right around the corner here for Learn to Play. And it has arrived. Grab the carve point there with the Kugelwagen. Could deal with that using the field gun maybe, or something else. Also worth noting, not really much in terms of the doctrine knowledge being used besides these two. Could consider focusing on my Guards Airborne squad there with some triple light machine guns or the submachine gun upgrade. I think those are quite good. And of course there's always Airborne rally points, just no one ever uses it. But it's not bad either, honestly. Machine gun being hammered, the T-34 and 6. Needs to get conquering forwards there, catching the Kuhwagen here. Need to get the car point back. T-34 taking heavy damage. He needs to retreat it now. Might actually lose it here, to be honest. He could get lucky, but he could also get unlucky. And whew, need to slightly maneuver about there, I think, to try and make it harder for his opponent to predict where it is and then hit it. But looks like doesn't happen. Need to. But a really close call there for Learn to Play. But he's close to that other T-34 soon. But will his first one survive long enough? Nope, got it. Definitely a slap across the face of Learn to Play. Looks halfway to 3, 22 kills. Panzer chat from the conscripts here. Still Learn to Play against good map control, but he needs more armor or some tanks here versus Jibber. Jibber meanwhile is close to Panzer 4. Of course it may be that Jibber's planning bigger things than a Panzer 4. Luke's unleashing hell there. We got the Puma moving in there, right to the line of fire, the Conscripts and the anti-tank grenades, quickly suffering significant engine damage, turning into basically a self-propelled toaster with a really large gun. So Learn to Play starting to apply more pressure to Jibber, but losing that T-34-6 did not do Learn to Play any favours. Discaretta there, pushing back Jibber's infantry. And we do get another T-34-6 here for Learn to Play. Some marginally good idea here, and maybe it's more pressure on the western points. Jibber at this point could... I think he's actually stalling for the Tiger tank right away. A bit risky. Clearly gives Learn to Play more time to bring up stuff on the field to then deal with it. Of course, losing that T-34-6 did slightly assist Jibber and go for it, I think, more safely. Like, had he did not lost that T-34-6, Jibber's move to the Tiger tank would be, I think, a lot more risky and perilous. But because Learn to Play kind of wasting it there, Jibber can sort of get away with it. Got the car on there, anti-tank grenade from the looks, damaging the engine. Of course, we can just pull it back through the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. Puma's receiving repairs as well. Second T-34-6 out. Another heavy machine gun. Honestly, makes sense. I mean, Jibber still got a lot of infantry, at least a fair amount of infantry, using it aggressively. Having another heavy machine gun out would just do a lot there towards slowing down Jibber's maneuvers, make it hard for him to control the field. But that's it. Jibber's close to the target tank, and as some of you might be aware of, heavy machine guns are not great versus Tiger tanks. Panzer the routed. Uses the Volksgrenadiers. These guns use with the Volksgrenadiers. Heavy damage, heavy combat. Closing on the A7 in the mighty Volksgrenadier. Frontovix catching the Kedner for here. MG-34 holding out in the snow, but is starting to bleed out here. Fixing up the looks there. We've got Fulton advancing countries here in the centre. Also, fun fact about the MG-34, they actually had a 35 or 75 rounds with magazines for it as well. There for, like, you know, the light machine gun, the bipod there. Just basically though meant for shooting at aircraft rather than, you know, infantry combat. But sort of a little fun note there. Got the Tiger tank out here though for Jibber. Should have the pin machine gun. There we go. 88mm gun. 100mm thick frontal armour, though non-sloped. A variety of machine guns and more. Early models of the Tiger tank also had S-mine launchers for dealing with infantry that got too close. That would later be replaced by the Nahverteidigungswaffen. Counter-call line found the Tiger tank immediately suffers 2 losses, and the rest of the unit is rather heavily scrambled up as well. Then we got another T-34-6 here for Learn to Play. Clearly going to rely on his anti-tank guns here for dealing with the advancing Tiger tank. As Jibber moves forward there for Deutschland. There you go. Slaughters the Conscript squad. No survivors. Do get smoke bombs here as well. Hit Jibber though. Quick to fall back here. Not commit further than west though. Instead we do get the assault here. Smoke around there to make it harder for the field to spot the Tiger tank. T-34 caught here by the Tiger tank as well. Great hit, but it kept somewhere. Support room crew is wiped out. Gets a recruiter there. These two MG-34 was the Conquerors there. The Tiger tank comes with engaged by the Might of Kupstal there. Getting flanked here with the T-34s ramming it. Damaging the engines and giving a chance to call in a rocket strike there from above. So the Air Force landing in, but oh, the angle was rather poorly calculated, giving the Tiger tank more time to get away there. And the field guns trying as well, but there's not enough. And they're not close enough either. Sturmpionier with the Panzerwreck here, most of the T-34-6. Looks like he's going to try and dive in. No, he getting caught with the Puma instead. Could end up suiciding here the T-34-6 without taking it out. He's ramming the Tiger tank. But you can't finish it off. I mean, he's just kind of blown away 2 T-34-6 on that Tiger tank needlessly. Great for Jibber, if a bit nerve-wracking, but definitely a bit wasteful here for Learn to Play. Definitely a bit wasteful. Flanking around with the looks and the Panzerfusilier on learn to place flank there. Smoke bomb deploys well to make it harder for the field to shoot at his field gun. Very good there. Nasty time by Jibber. Thumbs up on the west side. Got the pumping seats by the Volksgunners. Gauged by the dish cap. Got the ultimate right there ending the LMG-34. T-34 from 6 again here for learn to play. Another anti-tank on the looks. Can he this time finish off here? Jibber's terror tank. Gets away again. Some really good luck here for Jibber versus learn to play at the moment. The learn to play, of course, is no quitter, though I really think it would benefit at this point from Guards Airborne troops. Something a bit more elite, in particular as Jibber's bringing out his own elite troops over the other side, though there's a Dishka. You know, it doesn't matter how elite you are, you're still going to go down. Puts a quarter of the Dishka up north here as well. Fixing up the Tiger tank.
T-34 ready for combat.
And there we go. T-34 6 ready here for learn to play. Another T-34 6 out. Ground the western cutoff point and fuel point. Let's see what Jibber goes for next. Except, of course, repairs for his armor. My God, where did you sense his tank? A Warsaw. Oh, yeah. For some reason, I keep hearing Warsaw. Full punch against conscripts. Got smoke bombs here being deployed by Jibber again. Very good use of it, really. Thumbs up there. Looks by way at Veteran 3. Definitely good for it. And that's good for learn to play's infantry. Tiger on the move again here. 8 killed close Veteran 1. We got 64 on 96. I mean, learn to play is definitely closing the gap between him and Jibber, but there's also still a fair ways to go here. Counter they need to retreat before the Tiger tank utterly annihilates them with its 88mm gun there. Adopted from, of course, the iconic 88mm Flak 36. Ooh, close to a wipe there. 12 kills on the Tiger tank, close to Veterans 1. But still no Guards Airborne here. Guessing another T-34 6 here for learn to play.
Territory is falling into enemy hands.
Troops heading out there. Another T-34 6 for learn to play.
Enemy forces are capturing our supply.
After the quality of the Tiger tank, Veteran 1 gained. Engineers quick to retreat at the side of the Tiger tank. Just not fast enough there for Sergei, who got absolutely blown into pixelated hell.
We need to reestablish our
So mine sounds to be the great ideas for learn to play. If you can like catch some of Jibber's stuff on that, that'd be great here for learn to play.
territory.
Opposite to the T-34 6. Tiger tank shoots and misses. All of a sudden they're not missed by the T-34. Half the unit gone in the blink of an eye. Who moves in there, goes. Several hits from the being exchanged. He almost got the Puma, but the T-34 is almost down as well.
We have a new T-34
Shot bounced. And there you go, fresh T-34 6 up there for learn to play. Hunting buddy, we got grenades off here. Oh, he actually used the Command Tiger ability. Wow. Might have been an accident though, but that's actually neat to see. Going straight for the field guns here. Shot bounced. Shot bounced. Technically historically accurate since this is 3rd Division field gun. The actual could not penetrate the Tiger tank's frontal armor even at close range. Wow, that is actually really lucky. Like in game, statistically, they have roughly like fairly good chance of penetrating it, but somehow like most of the shots bounced there. That is definitely not something I've seen in a long time. Like to see that many bounces from field guns off the Tiger tank's frontal armor. That's pretty lucky there for Jibber. Pretty unlucky for his opponent though.
The sector is at risk.
Half 8 of 52 on that Command Tiger. Discount of 5 on the Tiger tank again. We got 319 or 775. More bombardment there from the Tiger and its mighty gun. West side, we got the concept of the orbital Darton. Focusing in a few extra hits, slowly approaching the Destiny 4 point. Eastern point that makes use by the Fultondiers. Honestly, some artillery would be a good idea here for Alert to play and for Jibber, just like some mortars like infantry guns. I think would do a lot of good work for them. Pushing back the Indy 54 crew, they're definitely murdering quite a few of them. Definitely being pushed back by Puma and Rakettenwerfer. Going to be seeing on the west side here from Jibber. Soon Learn to Play could actually go for another T-34 from 6. Of course, we'd also consider the HD-5. Though later on, we could also go for the Issue-6M. There we go, Panther 4 for Jibber. Got the disc, we got Brandhunt gunning off, got the Titan getting the T-34. Trying to move through the center, got the looks, they're blocking things off. Needs more support there. Field guns are, for some reason, all the way in the more towards the west in the center. Ooh, close to wipe in. Does get it on the Jibber there. Good for Learn to Play. Field gets good in the looks here. Going for the curve point there. Most of the armor though is elsewhere. Can't quite follow up here on the west side. We've got the T-15 with the full committees. I think he's going for an H-85 next year. A medium tank destroyer versus Jibber. Panther 4 though is almost ready here for the German army. The Deutsche Panzerwaffe. Constantly bombarded here by the Tiger tank. 18 kills, very close to Bethany 2. We do get more orbs on here with Jibber, but also a light infantry Geschütz cancelling the Panther 4 instead. Now Barini model Learn to Play very close to that H-85 tank destroyer. Jeremy Mod pushing ahead here with his elite orbital Dardan. Titan getting there, we got Bethany 2. Puma getting the T-56 pushing through the frontal armor. They're taking minor losses from the orbital Dardan. Tank coming up, shoots and whiffs. 300 munitions. I definitely feel like Learn to Play here definitely missed out on some mines. I think to really do some work there was Jibber. Check out the courts, the looks of the Puma on that being huge there for Learn to Play, but definitely no sight there. But he can't go for the tank destroyer now. Definitely should. Now he goes for the Katyusha instead of deal with infantry support weapons. I mean, that can work too. I could have that out sooner then. So, definitely getting the impression that Learn to Play might be a bit frazzled. Struggling to quite come to the right conclusion fast enough here as Jibber just continuously attacks, steadily pressures. Though, honestly, Jibber could do more on the west side, I think. But that's about that. Still, the light infantry additional orbital side should add some significant pressure to Learn to Play. Almost got the transport there with the Tiger tank. Katyusha right around the corner. Right around the corner.
Rocket launcher on the field.
Shot from the Puma, bounces off the T-54 Kim lands. Great hit there. Puma bounces again. Film about the Kim crew. They're almost wiping it out entirely. Double barrage here, bombarding here Jibber's Western forces. Puma ring in, they're constantly through the center here. Katyusha has just arrived, needs to get it within, I think, good range there without exposing it. Needs to get the feelings in as well there, but looks like Learn to Play is trying to coordinate the attack properly. The elements are not flowing with the infantry, meaning the infantry is getting absolutely slaughtered here on their own without anti-tank support to help defend off the Titan. And that's a definite mistake of Learn to Play, and something that Jibber, of course, is absolutely spectacularly punishing Learn to Play from. I mean, that was definitely a misplay there by Learn to Play, which Jibber, of course, just brutally punishes like an 18th century school teacher. Constant fire from the Tiger tank. Does pop the Command Tiger ability again, that does not really much fit to buff. Machine gun wiped out here and Learn to Play seems to be a bit paralyzed. His field guns are still being hauled away there, like he's clearly concerned about something, but what it is, I don't know. But that's just giving like Jibber free reign for the rest of his forces, in particular his armor here. Full suppression straight for the center here. T-Fit for finding there. T-Fit for finding there. Katyusha is fired a barrage, but only got 2 kills. Situation for the Soviet player is looking, well, kind of desperate at this point. got the machine gun right before he could run off with it, but the Continental just in this line of sight here of the Orbital Dardan and the Tiger tank here. Great hit there. At this point, like, all he needs is like a Panzer Commander, and you know, if there's more something for Sturm could actually have full bingo. Comparatively, I mean, he's almost got full bingos too, but obviously no rally points, certainly can't Airborne either. Tiger tank suffers a damaged engine here. Again, rocket strike going in here from Learn to Play this time. Jibber still managed to avoid most of the damage, and crucially, there's nothing to follow up with here though from Learn to Play. T4 being rushed in, other one is still being repaired here. It's far away in the west of that. Looks like the canyon pulling in as well there. He's going to ram the Tiger tank. Almost got it, but the T-54's chosen fat the looks gets the killing blow on it by shooting through the rear, and they're going to tank grenade off. Doesn't get the Tiger tank. It has absorbed a prodigious amount of punishment here, partly because Learn to Play directly launched a proper attack on it. Katyusha in trouble here with the Orbital Dardan. Going for it there. More losses inflicted on Learn to Play. Looks like it's just demolishing his force. We've got 40 kills, almost ace level on it. And the Orbital keeps pursuing the Katyusha here. Veteran 2 gained. Field and also in trouble from those. There you go. Learn to Play gives up a loss here for the Red Army, a victory for Deutschland. A fierce fight here in the snow between Jibber and Learn to Play. Learn to Play definitely had his moments, but I feel like didn't quite, lay down mines, which he definitely should have, but also feel like could use doctrine better and also crucially tech better. I definitely feel like tech was one of the issues here for Learn to Play something, which meant he couldn't quite exploit like any mistakes made by Jibber himself there, like outplay him. So definitely some issues there, but hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.